Good afternoon, class. I'm sorry that I can't be with you today, but you're in good hands with Miss Hunter. I am at a literacy development workshop this morning, so hopefully I can use what I learned to help you guys do better on the literacy test. However, it is very, very important that we finish our book today so that you can use what you learned today and what we've learned throughout our study of A Long Way Gone to help you complete your essay tomorrow and Wednesday. As I've mentioned before, you're going to have 2 more periods in the lab. They will be tomorrow and Wednesday. There will be complete periods for you to work on your writing, and we'll also finish the movie review presentation. So if you are not yet done your movie review presentation, be absolutely sure that they are completed before tomorrow. No excuses. You have the library at lunch, after school, or your own computers where you can access your Prezi from. So everyone else will be presenting Tuesday and Wednesday for their movie reviews, and you will be completing your essays. Your essays will be due on Friday. However, at the end of period Wednesday, I'm going to ask you to print what you've completed so far. I will collect that, and if you don't return anything else to me on Friday, a better version of what you've done, then I'll evaluate what you've given to me. However, anyone who does not achieve at least a level 2 will be doing a remediation session with me, and it will take place after school. I'll be contacting home to make sure that everyone at home is aware that you are going to get the extra help you need to be successful, because failure is absolutely not an option. You guys are too awesome to experience anything like that. So today what we're going to do is, at the end of the period, you are going to take some time. I have a worksheet for you. I have some page numbers for you from our memoir, A Long Way Gone, with examples of resilience. And what I'm going to let you do today is, using the book and the page numbers I've given to you, you may also use groups, and you can work with pairs to help you. I want you to write down quotations from the book, actual words from the book, and it doesn't have to be dialogue. It can just be lines from the book that will help you prove that Ishmael's resilience helped him survive and thrive. So you'll have a chance to do that. You'll complete that work, and you'll hand it in to Miss Hunter before the end of the period. I'll return it to you tomorrow, so you can use the quotations that you've written down today to help you in your essay tomorrow and Wednesday. However, before we get to that, I think it's important that we finish Ishmael's story. We've seen him through a lot of his journey, and in fact, I've invited Ishmael to join us so that he can tell you the rest of his story. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go get Ishmael. He's having coffee with my wife downstairs. That's coffee. So I will go get Ishmael, and I expect you on your best behavior as you listen to him, as he's an honored guest. And he's going to tell us firsthand the rest of his story, how he went from the rehabilitation center where he is now and made his way to New York, where he now lives. So let me go get Ishmael for you, and I'll be right back. Hello, children. I am Ishmael Bia. I understand from talking to Mr. Rama that you have been reading my memoir, and I'm very pleased that you've been learning about my story and my journey, the importance of resilience, the horror, the absolute horror of warfare, and how diabolical the schemes are that induct children into the armed forces, into the rebel forces, into the soldier forces, to fight these wars on behalf of essentially greedy men who are only after resources, money, and looking for ways to exploit power over the weaker people. So what you've read of my story so far is that my village was attacked by the rebels while I was away journeying to do a rap contest, and I was forced to live on my own for many, many months, surviving in the jungle, being driven out of villages because people were afraid of the very thing they used to welcome into their village, which was the innocence of childhood. The innocence of childhood in my country has been replaced with the notion that children are evil because we have been made in our country to do horrible, horrible things. So after surviving for many, many months on my own, I finally found the village where my family was located, and right before I was reunited with my family, that village was destroyed and all my family has been killed. Immediately afterwards, running from the rebels, I stumbled upon some of the armed forces, the soldiers fighting in Sierra Leone, and they took me and they took care of me, they protected me. And when the time came and when they asked me to fight, my choice was either to accept death by going back into the jungles where the rebels were, or to join them and perhaps be able to find a way to avenge my family. So I chose to become a soldier. I chose to become a killer. And in fact, I became one of the most brutal killers ever to fight in the war. I not only killed in battle, but I wounded prisoners, I maimed people. You've heard that I've buried people alive, that I've shot people and stabbed people in the legs. I've done many, many awful things, and at this point in my journey, I'm in a rehabilitation center where I'm trying to recover from being forced to do all of these things, to recover from my addiction to drugs, the amphetamines that I took, the cocaine, the brown bound, the marijuana. Essentially, for several years of my life, I was on drugs every moment of every day. And so that was the first part of the rehabilitation, to get those drugs out of my system. However, what can never be taken out of my system is the memories of the violence that I've seen and that I've participated in, the things that I have done. While I was doing them, I didn't even record mental memories of what I was doing in a way that I felt remorseful for or guilty for. I knew what I was doing, but I felt no guilt, no remorse. Every person I killed, I simply thought they were someone who killed my family, who took things from me. If I was shot, the next person I shot, I blamed it on them. I was living in an eye for an eye world, and the people I was killing I did not even think of as human beings. However, I've been in the rehabilitation center for some time, and I'm starting to recover my sense of myself. And while I'm doing that, it's becoming harder and harder because I cannot accept nor can I forget, and I can't forgive myself for what I have done as a soldier. I've been working with Esther. She's the nurse here. Very, very pretty. I like her a lot. However, I don't fully trust her yet. I haven't told her everything, though I've told her many things. However, we're getting closer and closer. And I've been at the rehabilitation center for 5 months. Today, I went and spoke with Esther because I had a dream. And let me share my dream with you. I had a nightmare that was different from the ones I had been having. It began with my swimming in a river at Matrujong with my brother Junior. We dove to the bottom of the river and brought out oysters. We placed them on a rock and plunged to the deep again. We were competing with each other. In the end, Junior got more oysters than I did. We ran home for dinner, racing each other. When we got there, the food was sitting in pots, but no one was around. I turned to ask my brother what was happening, but he was gone. I was alone, and it was dark. I searched for a lamp and found it, but I was afraid. My forehead was sweating. I took the lamp to the living room where a box of matches sat on the table. I lit the lamp, and as soon as the room was bright, I saw men standing all around. They had circled me in the dark. I could see their bodies, except for their faces, which were darker, as if they were headless, walking beings. Some were barefoot, and others wore army boots. All had guns and knives. They began to shoot, stab, and slice each other's throats. But they would rise and then get killed again. The blood began to fill the room, its tide quickly rising. They wailed, causing me great anguish. I held my ears to stop hearing them, but I began to feel their pain. Each time a person was stabbed, I felt it worse. I saw the blood dripping from the same part of my body as that of the victim. I began to cry as blood filled the room. The men disappeared and the door immediately opened. letting the blood out with a rush. I went outside with the blood all over me and saw my mother, father, and older and younger brother. They were all smiling as if nothing had happened, as if we were been together all this time. "Sit down, Mr. Troublesome," my father said. "Don't mind him," my mother chuckled. I sat down facing my father, but couldn't eat with them. My body had gotten numb, and my family didn't seem to notice that I was covered with blood. It began to rain, and my family ran into the house, leaving me outside. I sat in the rain for a while, letting it clean the blood off me. I got up to go into the house, but it wasn't there. It had disappeared.